Did you know that about 1 in every 3 adults are diagnosed with anxiety and depression? Yes, it is a very common theme and a very common problem with today's generation. Me specifically, I started struggling with my anxiety and depression when I was about 11 years old, being officially diagnosed. Then, when I was around 12 years old, it was the first time I got put on any medication for it. Now, what might cause these problems? Yes, there are some factors like it's hereditary, you're naturally going to get it, and it's also ultimately just a chemical imbalance in the brain. But it goes deeper than that. There are actually problems within our own environment that we can control, that might not necessarily eliminate, but help subside some of the symptoms that come with anxiety and depression. Now, I remember 3 years ago when I was first trying to be on my own little self journey of how do I subside some of these symptoms, because it was making my life debilitating. Now, I also have ADHD, and ADHD and anxiety are very commonly paired. It's a very commonly paired duo. So I had to sit there and ask myself, what in my environment can I control, or what in my environment is making this anxiety and depression possibly worse? Now, we all hate to admit when our parents are right, but have you ever heard your parents say, it's that damn phone? Well, they might not be wrong when it comes to this anxiety and depression aspect of it. Sadly, elongated phone time can actually cause problems with our mental health. Not only can it cause problems with our mental health, it can cause problems in our physical health and our social health as well. Now, why does it do that, or how does it even do that? Well, first, when we think about physical health, when we think about sitting on our phone for long periods of time, sometimes what happens is this. It's this downward movement, and this can put a strain on our shoulders and on our neck. And the more stress that we put on our body, actually, the more stress that it causes to us, the faster we can actually age. Not only that, but we can develop symptoms like trigger finger with it, which is basically just our joints gradually over time being shifted and moving into a different position than what they're meant to be in. Now, in terms of social health, I don't know about you guys, but I know for me during COVID especially, it was very apparent the way that all elongated phone use affected my social health, how I interacted with other people, because I hadn't been used to interacting with people for such a long period of time. And it actually causes our cognitive function to rewire itself, making it harder to socialize, which can also up our anxiety, right? Because the harder or the more we struggle to socialize with people, the more we can sometimes tend to overthink, oh my gosh, did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? How should I have responded in that situation? It causes this slower cognitive function for us, and it causes us to struggle with people. Again, this can also lead to isolation, which can also lead to depression when we isolate ourselves from other human beings. Now, most importantly, our mental health. How can our phones affect our mental health? Okay? 1, it messes up our sleep schedule. That blue light, it's triggering things inside your brain, which can keep you awake longer. Hence, why we naturally function a little bit better during the day versus at night. Because when we see the sunlight, just like we would on our phone, except it's blue light, it causes us to stay awake, thinking, oh, right now, I need to be moving, I need to be doing things. And that can sometimes be hard. Not only that, but with a regular sleep schedule, what can also happen is within a regular sleep schedule, this also causes lower functions of our brain. We just can't function as well. Less sleep causes us to do less well in life, and that can also put a strain on our mental health. Not only that, but social media. Extreme uses of social media can cause us to develop things like FOMO, fear of missing out. We see how other people live, and sometimes it can cause us to live in envy. Oh my gosh, why am I not doing that? I need to be doing that. Why do they get to do it and I don't? It also can affect us when it comes to our self-esteem, right? And this can also be commonly paired with our anxiety. When we sit there and think, oh my gosh, why don't I look like that? Why aren't my eyelashes that long? Why aren't my nails that pretty? Why doesn't my hair curl that much, right? This can also cause our self-esteem issues, which again, having a negative self-esteem or a negative self-image can not only increase our anxiety, but it increases our depression as well. So when you sit there asking yourself, man, what are some things that I can do that will help my depression, that will help my anxiety? Sadly, you might have to think of your parents saying, it's that damn phone, and put it down. Some things that we can do is putting our phone away an hour before bed, right? So that means no use an hour before going to bed. It kind of eliminates and helps our brains wind down, ready to get a full night of sleep, okay? Also with that, also with that, most phones have a night shift mode, which won't do necessarily the exact same because that light is still there. But if you're someone who's like, I need to watch videos when I go to sleep, I need to do this, I need to do that, stop lying to yourself. It's beeping. And just turn off your phone. Sometimes that means reading a book instead, or sometimes it even means going for a walk. This doesn't have to be at night, but this can be at any time. Even eliminating and getting an hour less of phone time a day can help increase your mental health, as well as your physical health and your social health as well.